Hi everyone, this is Zeiss here, and we just got a notification on Twitter, X actually, that there is a new patch coming for Diablo 4. It is 1.3.4. We'll read through it, through the notes, and see what it's about and comment on it right now. I didn't do a video about the patch 1.3.3a because it's mostly minor changes. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't like a 10-second video about patch notes. Anyway, so let's move on to this one here. It is going to hit all platforms on March 12th. Alright, let's see. I'm probably gonna skip through those accessibility fixes because not so important, at least for me anymore. I mean, not to waste time here, right? It's mostly about screen reader, so I guess doesn't really apply here. Okay, let's see. What did they fix in the season? Fixed an issue where the senecio was considered a minion, which made the sacrificial glyph unusable. That was actually one of my primary concerns here, because I remember checking corporeal and sacrificial. So the thing was, when I used the sacrificial glyph, I noticed that my damage on my skills, on my skill tree, doesn't change. And I was like, okay, let's see if this initial construct is actually considered a minion. I hope it was not. People were saying it was not. Well, some others were saying it was. Well, it actually was. But the weird thing here is that it didn't, for some reason, apply to the Necromancer standalone passive node, which grants you damage reduction and reduces it by 2 for each active minion. And as we all know, damage reduction doesn't stack additively, so it was kinda hard to determine unless you do crazy math. Well, not really crazy math. But anyway, and appears it was specifically considered by the usage of this glyph to be a minion, and hopefully our damage will now be higher without having to use Amplify to achieve the same effect to cursed enemies, because this is more actions to be performed to achieve the same result, which, especially having in mind we have a competitive scenario here, it's kind of important to not lose couple of milliseconds, like couple of 100 milliseconds, every time you actually want to kill something, which is like every other 50 to 80 milliseconds in this competitive scenario. Anyway, so I hope this gets fixed. Unfortunately, February 12th would be when the next gauntlet will hit. So unfortunately for this one, pretty much all necromancers are screwed. Let's move on to the second topic because we wasted a lot of time on this one here. Fixed an issue where the next rank description of the senecio ability burning support was inaccurate. I'm not using it, I didn't try it at all, it has no usage in my builds, so right. Fixed an issue where the barrier granted by the senecio ability protect did not trigger the damage bonus from the concealed aspect. Okay. Sounds good. Fixed an issue where the Malphas meteor could still deal damage players after his defeat. Well, it's not only the meteor actually in this case. It's pretty much any attack, even the lightning and those things on the ground, whatever. It's haha. Um, I will try to not say anything bad here, but we'll see how long I will hold. Fixed an issue, okay, fixed an issue where the, what's this, Lapidar's proficient objective could not be completed. The objective can now also gain progress from acquiring murmuring caches in addition to uncertain stone caches. Yeah, maybe. Fixed an issue, senecio stone caches You don't have to be a linguist to actually type in a correct sentence, right? I'm not gonna comment on it more here. But anyway, the issue is that the stone caches couldn't be crafted when only the duration support stone was left to get out max level. Oh well, yeah, it is what it is. Actually, I haven't had this problem, but I guess I'm glad someone found it so others could have a better experience. Right? Always appreciate this, especially all these exploiters and cheaters and all that. Yeah, thank you guys. Just keep on trying. It won't work anytime soon. But anyway, let's see what they fixed on the gameplay here. Fixed an issue where equipping multiple instances of aspects of the moonrise would only use the first instance equipped instead of using the strongest version equipped. Now, let me ask you something really important here. Why the fuck would you want to equip the same aspect on multiple gear slots? You know that one of them negates the other, right? I know that in this case the problem is something else, but that's maybe the only scenario I could come up with right now is maybe in the first couple of hours after the season starts and you don't have anything and you just happen to find two legendaries which have the same aspect before you go to the occultist and all. Because in like no more than half an hour after the season starts, you will have occultist access. Or maybe even before that. I don't know. Depends on how you approach it. But anyway. Oh, or maybe an hour. If you're like really slow or something. I don't know. Anyway. Fixed an issue where the Gauntlet Play Again button did not take the player to a new instance of the same dungeon. Well, actually, indeed, it never did. So when it ends, you see a load screen, you are thrown at Gyaku, and then you have to go through another load screen to actually restart the dungeon. Oh, and let me mention, there is no way to actually restart the dungeon when you want to stop running the gauntlet. Say you already realize that your run is screwed and you want to restart the dungeon. There's just no way to do it. You can't leave the dungeon, and when you do, on hardcore, because it's only available on hardcore, the scroll of escape, you can actually leave the dungeon with the scroll of escape on hardcore, because this item is not available on softcore, and when you leave and when you re-enter, you return to the very same instance. Wow. So looking forward to getting reset dungeon button, or maybe, or something. Like, does it work for this? Probably. We'll see. Fixed an issue where the nightmare dungeon could be reset by using a nightmare sigil while inside the dungeon. This is actually really good. Nightmare sigils can no longer be used while inside an active nightmare dungeon. Let me tell you why this is good. Let's say you don't have scroll of escape or you don't want to use one. Just activating a dungeon while in an active nightmare dungeon teleports you out of the dungeon immediately and places you in front of the dungeon entrance. And when you push the button to view the map, your crosshair, like the thing that you're aiming with on the map, leads you. It's like hovered over the dungeon that you just activated. So those hardcore players with the ultimate skill and ability could actually abuse this feature to get out of combat. They would actually usually would like lose their character. So this is a really good fix, and Zeiss definitely approves. Fucking noobs. Fixed an issue where tortured gifts in Helltide could not drop at least one equipment. Yeah, actually I've made a couple of shorts about this, where sometimes the tortured gift of nothing appears, right? Let's say you waste your time to farm 125 cinders, or cindies as I've heard someone call them. And you go to this light weaponry, tortured gift of weaponry, and there is nothing inside. So that's a really good fix here. Zeiss approves, but why was this even in the game? And it was in the game last season two, but I meant two. It was same problem, right? And it's still happening in this one. I don't know why, but let me mention here, I also noticed for a very short period of time, they also brought back the defenders of the living steel chest, which for some reason was called Infernal Steel on the map, but glad they fixed that. Uh, Anyway, I saw them and then they were removed. Probably it was causing problems, but I remember that they mentioned they will bring those back, so watch out. Anyway, let's see. Dungeons. What did they fix about dungeons? Fixed an issue where the Tomb Lord boss in the Carrion Fields would not reappear if the player left the boss arena immediately after placing the last statue. Okay. That's a good fix because it screws up with dungeon progression, right? Fixed an issue where spider color monsters could sometimes not spawn in the Sirocco caverns, which would block progression. Yeah, similar problem. Fixed an issue where an insufficient amount of animus carriers could fail to spawn could fail to spawn in the dark ravine, blocking progression. Fixed an issue where the gauntlet could be re-entered after leaving via scroll of escape. Exactly what I was talking about. Listen to this. This is like my wish list here in this patch. This is kind of my wish list. Let's see what's next, because there are a couple of things actually in this patch that I particularly like, and I was so unhappy about when they happens to me in game. So Zeiss definitely approve. User interface and user experience. Those are really usually not so important, but let's read through. Why not? Fixed an issue where season journey objectives would not display as completed when applicable. But which ones? Right? Probably not important because it's already fixed. Fixed an issue where swapping between menus in the world map while in a vote could cause the map to erroneously default to the Great Home map. What actually sometimes happened to me is that it's indeed like moved and as if there's nothing on the map. But it just when I open it, it doesn't place it on top of where my character actually is on the map. It's just someplace else. So we'll see if that will also get fixed. There might be something on my end only. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you actually had this problem. Right? Fixed an issue where Hall of Ancients records did not denote if a character is playing on a hardcore difficulty. Yeah, okay, there's this one thing for this amazing gauntlet and all. It doesn't say hardcore anywhere unless you pick it from the filter. Right? So I hope it says hardcore somewhere. Not only while you're playing it, but somewhere there. And what I think they should introduce as well on this is separate ladder for couch co-op players, because players who are on playing on different devices, they can split in the dungeon. But players who are playing couch co-op, what do? They can't split. They are on the same screen. So when one of the player goes, the other one is being teleported to forcefully. So imagine those people who are playing couch co-op, let's say on Xbox or PlayStation, right? They have only one screen and they see both the characters on this screen. There's no split screen or anything, right? So it's not optimal compared to uh, players in parties, in groups who are not playing couch co-op. It's kind of unfair, right? And they said they want this to be fair. If they want it to be fair, they would also probably remove the bug which grants you points after the timer is out if there are monsters nearby, and let's say you have some EOE skill which happens to deal damage after the timer is out, but you get points after the timer is out. So I also hope that this will get fixed as well. Let's see if it's in the list. Again, I didn't read any of this. I just opened it now. I have no idea what it's about, and this is like my initial reaction to this as well. Alright, let's see. Fixed an issue where there was no dungeon exit icon on the map of mini-mapping Gauntlet dungeons. Actually, there is one, but it is not usable. It's a bit different. It's there, you just can't use it. Oh, okay. Fixed an issue where the butcher barrier would not show as being depleted. Yeah, you know that? I think I met the butcher the other day while I was farming for some boots or something. It was tier 98 because I was stupid enough not to run 90 because I didn't have them. It's basically the same item power loot, just easier and faster to complete. So why bother, right? But yeah, I think I actually had this problem there. I had to like forcefully run around, right? Because it didn't show, and I was like, breaking support. Do you do anything? What's happening here? And I would prefer not to risk it, you know, because when you die on hardcore, you lose everything. Fixed an issue where filtering the leaderboard to all platforms did not include PC entries. Right. Okay. Let's see. Fixed an issue where the map icon for Pillars of Glory would only be visible when in close proximity to it. Actually, there are many things which are like that. I think you have to be in close proximity to actually see things sometimes on the map. Otherwise, you don't. And we have even the same example in the Gauntlet. You know, this Theo shrine, which grants you more points, more score when you equip it. It's not on the map. It's not on the map. The other one, which revives things, is on the map. The ones which the bosses provide when they are killed, they are on the map. But this one is not on the map. So, I don't know. We'll see. That's the thing here, I think. They're talking about. Misk fixed an issue where the visual effect of Meteor did not match the damage radius of the ability. I have not played Meteor, I think, since the beta of the game. So, no idea. If you play Sorcerer and know what they're talking about, let me know in the comments below. Fixed an issue where the arrows fired from Rogue's volley could appear invisible. That probably was very good on PvP, but how do I know? Right, on hardcore, there's nobody in those fields of hatred. It's so empty. It's so boring. I even wonder why I have the PlayStation Plus subscription. Oh, wait, to actually kill the Eating Abomination and get boss materials faster and whispers and goat and all that. So, because you can't actually do those grim favors there if you don't have a paid subscription to Xbox Gold or PlayStation Plus. Did I just comment on pay to win again? Oh no, Zeiss, how could you do this? Anyway, various performance, visual, and stability improvements. Okay, good patch notes. Zeiss approves about this patch. Many things in this patch. So again, I hope I didn't bother you too much with this thing. I hope I was not too, like, I didn't sound too arrogant or annoying. But if I did and you perceived it as so, it's probably your fault and you very well know that. I have nothing else to add. Let me know what you think about this patch in the comments below. And yeah, Zeiss out. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.